Well, whether we like it or not, it is the beginning of the era in which the world is starting to look like the Matrix, where algorithms could think, speak, and even act like humans. The not-so-complete examples of generative artificial intelligence, the likes of ChatGPT, have arrived to change our lives, and how. For the better, says Bill Gates, the billionaire founder of Microsoft, which owns the inventor of ChatGPT, OpenAI. In a blog post last month, Gates declared the age of artificial intelligence has begun and said it is as revolutionary as mobile phones and the internet. He went on to claim that AI can even reduce some of the world's worst inequities. While that may take some time, for now, generative AI is making lives easier, from turning napkin sketches into fully functional websites and summarizing long YouTube videos to turning text into graphic art and making music. They do it all, and what these human-like bots do not do now, they will perhaps do in the near future. And that's where the fear lies. What if it is used for propaganda and to spread misinformation? In an open letter last month that had Elon Musk, Steve Wozniak amongst its signatories, called for a pause on training AI systems that are more powerful than GPT-4 for at least 6 months, adding, and I quote, that if we were to get ahead of ourselves and train these machines to be better than us, it would pose a profound risk to society and humanity, end of quote. Sam Altman, the inventor of ChatGPT, also pondered that generative AI needs a gradual transition for us all to be able to process and understand what's really happening. Altman even confessed, and I quote, "We are a little scared." Well, the big question then is, should we be? Hello and welcome to Young Turks, India's longest-running show on startups and entrepreneurship. I'm Shereen Bhan. To give us a glimpse into the future and tell us whether generative AI will be a boon or a bane, joining me now on the show is Khare, partner at Lightspeed India, Anirudh, Singla, the founder and CEO of Pepper Content, and Pratyush, the co-founder of Merlin. In fact, both Pepper Content and Merlin have leveraged the power of ChatGPT, and they both say it is only the tip of the iceberg. Gentlemen, appreciate you joining us here on the program. You know, Dave, let me get started with you, and I think it was really nicely captured in a Project Syndicate article on generative AI, and it said that we need to pause on both the hype as well as the panic as far as generative AI is concerned. So let's get started with that, Dave, because this is something that a lot of people are talking about. I mean, every conversation, every CEO speaks about ChatGPT. It's sort of become the cute thing to do. But I don't know if the layperson or even corporate India today, or in fact globally, truly understand what is going on. So explain to me what we should be mindful of, what we should be fearful of, and where the opportunities lie.
Yeah, thanks, Shereen. Great to be here. In terms of opportunities and what we should be mindful of, I think the basic understanding we should all have is that there is a set of AI technologies coming along that generally called generative AI. OpenAI is one of them, and there's actually 100 other models out there. And then ChatGPT is one application built on top of OpenAI, and there will be many other applications. Kind of like there are many applications built on top of Google Cloud or Amazon Web Services. And so what we should be excited about, I think, is that there's a natural language interface coming here along with ChatGPT and other such applications. There is an engine that can reason and be programmed by human beings. And then there is a way to structure unstructured data. So these are three big properties of this platform that will enable a whole bunch of new applications, both consumer applications and enterprise. It's kind of like when the web came along in the mid-90s or smartphones came along in 2009, 2010. They enabled a whole set of new applications. So that's the opportunity. And it'll impact all sorts of areas. Could be education, because it's very content-driven. Could be commerce. Could be enterprise applications, and so on. So that's the opportunity. I think what we should be mindful of is that what goes into these engines, these AI engines, and then what comes out of it is non-deterministic. By that, I mean it's not predictable exactly. Unlike computer programs of the past where you said, what is 1 + 1? The answer would be 2. In this case, if you said, for example, what is Shereen Bhan's biography, it might come up with stuff that's true or not, so you don't know. So I think that's something we need to be aware of. But there are other issues like privacy, and then also reasoning, where it can create, these engines can create themselves and program themselves over time. And so that needs to be controlled. and we can talk about that today.
Explain to me what you've seen over the last few years since you started Pepper Content. What exactly are you using AI to solve for at this point in time? What have you been able to leverage in terms of advantages?
Totally. First of all, thanks, Shereen, for having me here. Like you said, right, GPT-3, we were probably amongst the first few 500 users of GPT-3 across the globe when it launched. And we've been in constant touch with the OpenAI team from the start to build out a product called peppertype.ai. This was an AI writing assistant that we had built on top of the GPT-3. And our thesis has always been about democratizing content creation. And we believe every company is going to be a content company. And we've been helping businesses scale content production for the largest time. And our first insight was that AI will definitely play an interesting role in content creation. So how can we leverage that? We started scaling the business. Shereen, this started out as a side product. And within 3 months, we started seeing amazing traction. We had users from hundreds of countries starting to already pick up. And we had we were a team of 150 people, just 3-4 people working on the same. Over the next 1.5 to 2 years, we've seen over 500,000 users use PepperType. And it's obviously we're a B2B company, so we haven't seen consumerized scale, but seeing that rapid growth, tens of thousands of users coming every month, one thing was clear, that this was clicking. And majority of businesses were discovering our entire ecosystem of Pepper through PepperType. We saw, and very interestingly, Yale University became one of our customers through PepperType. Someone from the medical department started discovering this.
Okay.
Or from Spotify, AWS, Uber. We started seeing people in these companies starting to pick up and adapt to PepperType. And that's where, this unique insight came, that I think content marketing will play, AI will play a huge role in content marketing. And how can we use that to automate workflows, democratize creation? And we've been of the opinion that it's not human or AI, it's human plus AI. I think as technology advanced and analytics has advanced, it has made people 10x more productive. And that's what we see. We still have a strong creative talent marketplace. And we have hundreds of creators, thousands of creators leveraging AI to do much better. And while obviously, so we work with customers across the US and India, while for marketing and CMOs. And we're starting to see exciting adoption of AI scale up. And Shereen, let me tell you, this is not just text. Yesterday night, I was looking at text to video models. I think if you watch the movie Her, right, I see that happening real soon, which is we'll have AI assistants talking to us in terms of multimedia content, and this is just the starting point. And I think we're already seeing exciting activity in India with the generative AI buzz. And I think it's an amazing time for the ecosystem overall to embrace this and leapfrog into the next decade for us.
So I want to understand from you, because you're a very nascent player, started barely at the end of December 2022. What has the experience been like for you, and what do you see as the playing field from here?
First of all, thank you for having me over here, Shereen. When we started off Merlin somewhere about in early December, we were originally just tinkering with the OpenAI GPT-3 model. What we realized that when our friends and family started to use Merlin to perform a lot of actions like editing emails or writing LinkedIn posts or writing titles for their YouTube videos, we realized that the applications for this this emerging tech is not just relevant to just writing cool poems or just creating stories for your kids. It's something which really impacts your day-to-day productivity. And we originally did not expect to have such a rapid growth, but in just last 4 months, we have got to somewhere about 600,000 users, more than 500,000 users, out of which almost 90% of them have enabled us. So we are active on their browser on a daily basis. What we realized when we were growing is that on every website, Whether you are on YouTube, whether you are on Substack, Medium, on every website there are some very targeted use cases which you can solve for and which can enhance the productivity or the user experience of the user who is using that particular website. So, for example, one of our most popular features in Merlin is YouTube summarization feature, which helps students or any average YouTube watcher summarize any long video, and they use it for their lectures, for long podcasts, or any kind of infotainment videos which they are watching. And yeah, that our journey so far has been sort of exponential, and we are just doubling down on it. And I think this entire revolution which ChatGPT has started, it's going to end to be much larger revolution than even the computer revolution. It's going to completely eat the entire software industry.
Let's you and me